Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fire Force Chapter 244. When we last left our heroes, the fight with Charon was continuing as Ogun got back up for another round. He tried a strategy that would hypothetically negate Charon's absorption abilities by attacking while he was countering, but it didn't work because Charon just used a regular punch. So Ogun went down and started flashbacking about his academy days. We see how he meets Shinra and Arthur, how they kind of become friends / rivals in the case of Shinra and Arthur. And then a fight breaks out between Shinra and Arthur during a basketball game or something, and we stop there. We also see how Yona starts to plant the seeds of Shinra the Devil. In the general populace, which was interesting to see. So yeah, all that being said, let's jump right on into Chapter 244, The Ties That Bind. Our picture here is Ogun in a tank top. There's like a jaguar behind him. Just do it. Like it's a Nike ad, but it's not Nike. He sprints to, there's also a fly in the room, and I'm not a fan of flies, so if I start freaking out, that's why. It just kind of flew in front of me. We're gonna have a night. He sprints down his path alongside his comrades. Anyway, so all that being said, we open right where we left off, with Shinra and Arthur still arguing on the basketball court. Heroes are obviously the coolest. Hell no. Heroes? Please, it's knights. A fight's broken out between Shinra and Arthur. What could have caused it? Heroes, knights. So yeah, they're still fighting. Like it's not that interesting a fight. It's like just the foundation of all of their arguments going forward. And Ogun comes up to them. Hey, knock it off. Ogun, you guys were getting along so well. Did something happen, Arthur? And Arthur says, I got the ball. It was for the children in the park, you see. Heh. And then, I don't know what that's about. And Ogun kind of points at Arthur and looks at Shinra, and Shinra says, yeah, let me explain. And then I guess Shinra tells the story. And then Ogun asks, what? Some kids in the park asked you which is cooler, heroes or knights? Heroes or knights? And you guys started fighting? That's really stupid. It's not stupid. Ogun's right. I mean, yeah, it kind of is stupid, but it's fun. And then Shinra kind of, with his, like, the two of them are kind of, like, grappling. And for another thing, I'd never be friends with a guy like this. He's always bragging about being a knight, looking down on people. It pisses me off. And Arthur snaps at him, you dumbass. You're the dumbass knight. And Arthur gets mad. What do you say? Devil? Ooh. He brings up the rumors. The first time he brings up the rumors, which is of course a less comedic moment than all of his kind of casual jabs about it. Especially given all we know about the devil rumor. And that stops the fight. Shinra kind of freezes at that. And Ogun looks at him, Arthur. And Arthur asks Shinra, what's with the face? And we see Shinra in his, creepy, uncomfortable smile. And Arthur tells him, you've never been a hero. You're a devil. And Shinra still grins. And Arthur turns away. Pathetic. And Ogun, looks at Shinra and tosses him the basketball. Shinra catches it, a little confused. You're here, so get in on some b-ball with us. And the guys he's playing with, hey, if Kusakabe's playing, I'm out. Yeah, I'm done. I'm not playing with a devil. And all of them just leave. Poor Shinra. I mean, we knew, academically, but the series before this flashback has never, beyond Shinra's grandmother, and her hatred of him, which we eventually found out is also tied in with the virgin birth storyline. But beyond his grandmother's hatred, or just being told about his family's hatred, we never really see the bullying that Shinra undergoes. It's not like Naruto, where like every time, at every chance we get, Kishimoto would show everyone hating Naruto as a kid. We never really see that with Shinra, so it's interesting to actually physically see it play out. But Ogun watches them all go, kind of annoyed. The two of them play like one-on-one. Uh, Important random thing to note here is that Shinra is just not in like athletic clothes. Like we see Ogun in like a tank top and like gym shorts and sneakers. And Shinra is in like his button-down shirt, his dress pants, his nice shoes. It's just like not a fair game. But Ogun's very clearly winning, both because of his skill and because of the clothing discrepancy. And Shinra out of breath. And Ogun tells him, "Ready up, Shinra." And Shinra responds, "Damn it, I can't stop you. I've got an advantage in basketball. In a one-on-one, you don't have a chance. But basketball isn't a one-on-one game." Huh? And Shinra looks at him. I feel like I'm reading Kuroko right now. And Ogun tells him, "We're a team. If one man can't get the job done, then two can." I'm glad that we see just how much of a fucking legend Ogun is. He's just a really good guy. And Shinra looks at him. "So, you're gonna try to believe me?" And Ogun looks at him. "What?" And then he just breaks down. And then he like slaps Shinra on the shoulder and like pats him on the head. "Ow! I don't believe. I know. You're not the guy they say you are." A part of me wants to think that Ogun is like responsible for Shinra like actually turning out okay. There's a part of me that like thinks that maybe Doppel Shinra could have like taken over earlier, if Ogun wasn't there to like push back against the rumors. I don't know. That just popped in my head right now. And Shinra kind of like looks up at Ogun, and Ogun continues. "And despite what Arthur said, he knows it too. Nuh-uh. That guy's just a jerk. He's popular despite being a total idiot." And Ogun changes the subject. "Come on, you can still turn this around. Game on." Shinra, "It's hopeless, man." And so now we're back in the present. I saw, so Jamie commented on my last video, that like the flashback might be there for a way to find Ogun finding a way to beat Charon in the flashback. That's clearly not the case because we are back in the present and nothing in that flashback really gives us how to beat Charon. So I'm thinking Ogun might die. That was one of my thoughts as I kind of reflected on the last chapter, is like, could this be like setting up Ogun backstory for his death? And like maybe. I think it might be. Let's see. Anyway, Ogun gets back up and Charon looks at him. "It's hopeless. You don't stand a chance." And Ogun, like beaten, battered, bloody, "I'm not giving up." And then he goes for another punch in Charon's chest, and Charon just smacks him back down. Gets him in the gut, grabs him by the head, and just pummels him over and over again. It's kind of brutal. Sends him flying again. We see Ogun, like, blood coming up from everywhere. And Charon just glares down at him. "What? You gonna cry, little baby?" But just then we see some flame. It's Ogun's flamey ink. And he gets back up. He looks unconscious. Despite the fact that he's standing by like the pure power of his ink. And Charon looks at him. "Those flames on your body are the only things keeping you standing." And Ogun looks unconscious, honestly. It reminds me of Lee in Back to Naruto. At the end of his fight with Gaara, unconscious but still like barely standing. That's the vibe it gives. And Charon just picks him up by the head. "You don't have anything left in the tank." And he like, with his fingers, kind of like traces down his chest, Ogun's chest, it looks like. "All you had to do was sit down and shut up, and you could have lived your last days in peace." And he like readies some flames in his fingertips, pointed right at Ogun's chest. And just then, he starts to cough up blood. Charon does. I'm not alone. This is Ogun. Fire soldiers are a team. Oh, that's the theme the flashback needed to set up. I think so. Jamie was right about that. And we see Charon dripping blood in his back. And it's Hinawa, who is, with his ricochet control, blasted a hole in Charon's side. Ooh, what? And he, in his shock, he drops Ogun. And Charon also falls to his knees at the time. And Ogun looks up at him. If you can't handle something with one guy, handle it with two. That's the ironclad law of the fire soldier. The Eighth are a seasoned company. They never miss this chance. Yeah. Alright. Way to fucking go, Ogun. And Charon in shock. I took damage? Like this? And Obi comes over to take care of Ogun. Good work out there, Ogun. You too, Hinawa. And Hinawa responds, I'm sorry. It would have been a killing shot, but I couldn't risk hitting Ogun. And just then there's this huge explosion from behind Charon. This might be, I feel like this is Ritsu. I feel like it's going to be Ritsu, because we also see a whole slew of Infernals behind them, too. Out of my way, all of you Tinder. Oh no, Arthur looks up. This might be Dragon. Yeah, there's Dragon. You so-called guardians. Absolutely pathetic. Dragon, the strongest beast, takes the stage. Now is the age of Dragon Slayers. To be continued in chapter 245, Dragon vs. Knight, the rematch. Okay. So yeah, I am glad. While I do like the thematic theme, I like the theme of they have to work together to bring down Charon. I'm glad, like, if Charon had actually, fallen for good after that one hit from Hinawa, it would have been really sad. After all, Charon has been built up as, like, one of the strongest people alive. And so I'm glad it fits thematically with the major theme of the flashback, in that only by working together can they even damage Charon without just tossing Charon aside. So in that, I think it all works really well. And like I said, I do like the flashback. I think seeing Shinra, seeing how those rumors about Shinra started, seeing how they impacted him is a really interesting thing to see. And it's weird we haven't seen it before. And, like, I kind of understand why we haven't really explored this time before, because you can't really explore it without getting into what Yona did. At least not in depth without looking at what Yona did. And given that that's, such a big late game reveal, they couldn't really touch on this era of Shinra's life. So it's nice to see. I do think it's a little poorly placed. I don't think we need this whole flashback to get to the sense of we're a team. I think that the whole we're a team, Ogun's line about, if you can't handle it with one guy, handle it with two, still works without the basketball scene. Though there's a lot more mirroring with the basketball scene. The one thing I'm kind of interested in, though, is that we've kind of been focused on Charon, and now Dragon's here. And it's right after this big hit from Charon. So there's a tiny part of me, I don't think Okubo's actually going to do this, but there's a tiny part of me scared that we're just going to kind of like, this is the end of Charon, we're moving on, let's go see Dragon now. And I sure hope that tiny part of me is wrong, because that would be really, really just kind of pathetic. Another thing that I think I've mentioned before, maybe, is the sense that if the Whiteclads win in Amaterasu and merge the two worlds, then we could be saving actually finishing Charon for his rematch with Shinra, which I think is very good. I would very much like to see a Charon-Shinra rematch, given that's been kind of built up for like 3 years now. But yeah, all that being said, I do think we're done with Charon for now. Definitely not for good. But like, he's been injured. He's down for the count for right now. I would like, if we didn't have the dragon scene at the end, I'd be like, there's still plenty of time. Charon's gonna get right back up and start fighting. But now Dragon is here. Next chapter is Dragon versus Knight, the rematch. That's going to be the focus for at least a good little while. And so yeah, that's going to be a really fun fight. And hopefully you might even get some like characterization for Dragon. He was just kind of there at Obi's rescue. And his whole beef with Arthur is just about his name being Dragon, which is funny and perfectly Arthur. But I hope he's just a little more meaty of a character once we really get into him. But yeah, that looks to be some fun content for next week. But that's all I have to say for this video. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, don't forget to drop me a like or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!